Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a technical issue we had to take care of there, but I think before that happened, I was mentioning about Big E versus AJ being something I'd be interested in for the Intercontinental Championship, simply because of their interaction in the Rumble, and also, oh shit, there's a thingy I need to just do something with, but no, it's fine. Uh, just video wise, but also because of the interaction with Omos as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So Big E and Almost,
Yeah.
yeah,
Almost.
Omos,
Almost. Like almost, but not.
but not.
It's almost almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
it is almost. But you can see. I mean, I'm sure you guys can see those two big behemoths with Big E and Omos getting into it, and then having a pretty cool feud with AJ. I think that's something that would work.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I can definitely see that working. I mean, as much as to before it got cut off, I what brought that on, I said Seth Rollins and Big E, which I still could see happening, but now that you mentioned that, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm not against it by any means.
And there's also not forget the fact that Seth Rollins is now what?
Oh, I was gonna say, and you could also do like Big E, AJ, and then like almost is doing something, right? And then that's maybe a way to bring Kingston back, is Kingston comes in and kind of like helps, like this stop the interference or something like that. Doesn't mean they have to have a program together, but it's a way to get him back into the mix of things.
Yeah, I could see that, and if you're gonna go with Edge Drew, if they go that route, leaving Roman open, you also have the potential of Seth versus Roman. I mean, because let's not forget Seth's now on SmackDown. So
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
It does. I mean, I again, both of them working heel right now, so I don't know how well that would work. But it's not like there isn't a history there that they could play off of. So I mean, I don't know if you want to throw Seth right away into a main event.
Yeah,
Picture,
I think he's got to work his way back up again. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but I think it's gonna make it better for his character and for the story arc if you build him back up into it, especially the way he fucking messiahed himself.
Yeah,
as a martyr, outside of all that, and just kind of offered himself up, which apparently I read a while ago. Actually, I actually don't remember if we talked about this or not, that him and Riddle have now squashed their beef.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, that's what I read. I mean, whatever, it's the internet, so it's fucking, you can print anything on the internet.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, if it's
I'm starting a blog where I'm just gonna write shit that I think, and I'm gonna fucking sell it.
I'm resurrecting my live journal for all my emo poetry needs.
I thought that was what our Something Dreadful was for.
Yes, that's the Secret Feelings podcast.
Well, right. I'd like to take this moment in time to promote my MySpace. I'm bringing it back. I think everyone should get on that shit.
We talked about that on.
Yeah, I've been bringing it back for a long time, and no one seems to be fucking coming around. It's fucking stale around that bitch.
Well, we need to do more podcasts promoting your MySpace.
The king of that motherfucker.
Moving on a little bit.
You're the king of checking in.
Moving on a little bit, one thing that I think all of us could agree on that was some good news that happened today is that Lars Sullivan was officially released from WWE.
Oh, you brought that up. I had that too. Yeah.
Oh man,
that just didn't go well for Lars. The whole thing. Even before accusations,
Lars
like
didn't go well for Lars. Let's just be real.
The dude didn't do himself any favors. I mean, he thought he was doing himself favors in the moment, but things are fleeting.
Well, he has a career future in gay porn, so he's always got that to fall back on. And,
obviously.
As well, don't we all?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we do.
Worst comes to worst.
I have to now.
Yeah, Duncan. I mean, what's up. Oh, look at there's
At
a
least,
puppy.
like the thing is Matthew is the best, like at handling dogs, so he could definitely like you could be the best dog walker and dog.
I'm gonna be the best
whisperer.
dog whisperer. Fucking Caesar Milan put me in a main event against him with in WrestleMania. We're gonna surround the ring with dogs,
Yeah,
right? And then I'm gonna beat him. Then I'm gonna say, "This is my yard," and then I'm gonna fucking go against Roman Reigns.
I
But
thought-
we have to have Judge Mills Lane presiding over that.
Yes.
Let's get it on.
I thought you were going a completely different direction with that
No,
dog
it's gotta be
comment.
celebrity deathmatch.
No, I thought you were going in a completely different direction with that dog comment when we transitioned from gay porn to Matthew's really good with dogs.
No, I have to do gay porn. Matthew has.
Yeah,
a
for those of
legitimate
you
career.
not watching on the Twitch stream, I picked up my pit bull onto the screen.
Yes.
Because she came around and was trying to get loved on, so I figured I would just
By the way,
show her to the good brothers.
twitch.tv/ONRS live. That's where you can
Yes.
find the find Ono Wrestling and find our flagship show, the Ono Radio Show, live every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. That being said, did either of you guys get to watch the I forgot what they called it, but the Icons, I want to say it was, with Yokozuna
I
on
did
the
not.
network?
So I watched the first 20 minutes of it. And it was good.
Really good, really good. I mean, we always say, WWE has an incredible ability to, do these documentaries.
They fucking get me after the pay-per-views when they have that, and they're good.
Yeah, this one was particularly good, and I always saw, as a kid, Yokozuna as such, like, wow, he's so big, and they build him as being over 500 pounds, and he was, but like, there is a huge difference from when he debuted to like,
oh man,
what he
towards the end.
for what he like. I think he was legitimately right about 600 pounds, is what they were saying, like that, not even like kayfabe weight, but like. The guy could
like my 600-pound life type shit.
Yeah, and then you go back and they were showing all the footage of him from before he was Yokozuna and how agile he was, and like, yeah, he was still a big dude. He was a big ass Samoan, before he had that gimmick and everything. But you kind of wonder what if, and everyone was talking about just how he was like a really good technical wrestler. Like, he was, like, especially for a man of his size, and a true, like, one of the greats of the big men of all time. And by all accounts, seemed like he was just like a legitimately really good dude.
I'm glad you brought this up, because now I need to finish it, and this is now like the sticking point to me finishing it and going back to the network and rewatching that, is because I watched that first 20 minutes after the Rumble, and that's what I got from it. It's exactly what you just said, that he was this agile, and he was extremely loved and extremely coveted by his family, and like such a good worker, and like, and that sort of thing. So now I'm really interested to go back and finish it and kind of see how that ends up. I mean, I know how his career ends up, but I want to now see that trajectory and see how it all came to fruition.
You even see Roman, in there, and he's talking about him and just how, like, they throw in, of course, a little bit of kayfabe with, like, he was, like, Yoko was the head of the table once upon a time, and how like, he inspired, like, they've even kind of pulled it into the gimmick right now with Roman, is that his inspiration for becoming who he has become in his current iteration of his character was sort of inspired by what Yoko once upon a time was and used to provide for the family. Like, there's a story in there about how Rikishi couldn't pay his heating bill, and dude wrote him like, hey, before Rikishi was, while he was getting set up in the business, and before he was famous and all this sort of thing, and Yoko wrote him a blank check and said, do what you need for the family. So it's that type of shit, and you realize that I personally myself feel like I might have underestimated or not quite given enough credit to Yokozuna. You just think of him as big dude that sits on guys like at the end of the day. But I
Yeah,
think
you just thought of him as like big Japanese earthquake.
yeah,
Because we didn't know he was Samoan back then. They told us he was Japanese. We're just like, well, obviously he's a sumo wrestler.
Yokozuna. Yeah, it sounds
Duh.
Japanese to me. I'm fucking dumb American.
He had me convinced as a kid. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he totally had me convinced.
Yeah, and I guess that like the pairing.
Also, Duncan just pulled back the curtain. I was convinced until now. I'm just joking.
Sorry,
being
I'm killing
facetious.
kayfabe over
yeah,
here.
sorry.
What are you doing over there, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, texting the wife because she's on her way home, and I was trying to order food mobily, and guess what? It didn't work because I'm not there, so she has to deal with it the old-fashioned way.
Lame.
I know.
Well, we won't keep you obviously because
But-
we had a little bit of technical difficulties there. We won't keep this show going on too long. But
Can we steer away from WWE? For a
yeah,
second?
well, that's exactly what I was trying to go for. Is as a transition into a little bit of AEW talk, especially with AEW Beach Break coming up tomorrow, which looks like a really good card.
I'm for it, man.
Yeah.
I'm fucking for it. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Mox, fucking Pac and Phoenix versus Kenny and the Good Brothers. That's gonna be fun.
Fucking banger.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Fucking banger.
Do you think they give Kenny and the Good Brothers another win on that one? Like, because they've been super dominant lately.
I mean, I think you gotta. I think if you don't have them win, there's got to be some fuckery involved.
The Young Bucks,
because the Bucks or something, like you got to have some sort of fuckery involved where like Don Callis tries to do something, the Bucks come out are like, no, you got to do it clean, and at that point there's a roll up or something like that. The match is going to be fucking amazing, but like you can't squash Mox and Pac and fucking Phoenix. You can't do that, and you can't
but you've also got
you can't squash the momentum that
the Good Brothers
that the Good Brothers and Kenny have, and you know what I'm saying, and like which they are basically saying it's Bullet Club, and for all intents and purposes, I think they have used the words Bullet Club,
Everywhere.
Yeah. So
worn the shirts.
And so I think you got to let that heat and that fire like build, but like you got to let it help other people. Not that like Mox needs it, but like Pac having just come back, Phoenix now getting this like little bit of a singles, without Penta. Like, I think that there's got to be some fuckery where it's Don Callis and then.
Well, you've also got the Eddie Kingston factor. You've got the the feud with Butcher and Blade.
I also think that Penta can come back now.
Can he?
Yeah, like his visa issue has been cleared up, and he's been cleared medically.
I didn't realize that was like the case until very recently, that someone had mentioned I think it was even on Talking Shop that they mentioned that wasn't Penta in the mask when they beat him down. Like it was somebody, some jobber in the mask. I forget who it was, but some jobber in the mask that they beat down backstage. Like I don't know if that was a week or two. I think it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. But yeah, so he started off injured, but then he had a visa issue and he couldn't get out of Mexico.
Gotcha. So yeah, that looks like a great match. Then we've got a tag team battle royal, which we all know how AEW has been doing with its tag team division. As we know, it's probably the best. I mean, in North America, at very least.
Yeah, they're saying I think FTR got pulled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not on this list.
Yeah, they were on the list for confirmed, but now they've been pulled.
I wonder why that is.
I'm not sure why. I'll do a quick Google while we keep talking.
Yeah,
quick Google, but I would like to say that my favorite team name in that whole thing is the team of Jake Hager and Sammy Guevara as the team of Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar is
That's fucking amazing.
So
and
Sammy Hagar.
there's two
is-
teams from the inner circle in there too, right? Because Jericho and MJF are in there. I want to say.
Yeah, they are.
Jericho and MJF.
Are
Evil
Santana
Uno
and
and
Ortiz
Stu
in there?
Grayson,
And- hold
Santana
on.
and Ortiz, the Acclaimed,
wow.
Top Flight, Private
Yeah.
Party, Jurassic Express.
Yep. So you've got the Dark Order and the Dark Order. So you've got you've got Reynolds and Silver, and you've got Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. Inner Circle and Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz, Jericho and MJF, Sammy Hagar, Jurassic Express, Private Party, the Acclaimed. I don't know.
The Acclaimed are the ones that wrap down to the ring.
Yeah.
Oh yes, okay.
Those are-
and then
yeah.
Top Flight.
I feel
And
like
then the
this might be one for Private Party. If
Well, so the stipulation is so it's a tag team battle royal for the tag team championship match at Revolution.
And
if go ahead.
the Bucks, and if the Bucks win, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, they get to pick their opponents for the pay-per-view.
Which is why I feel like the Bucks will win.
Okay.
And they
Call out the Good Brothers.
That's genius. I would like that. That's very cool.
Yeah, and do you think like they do this as a battle royale? Do you think? I mean, as a battle royale, the match starts all at once, right? There's no like coming down. It's not a rumble-ish type thing.
No,
It's
they're
not-
all in the,
they're all there, and then they all start, right?
although I mean,
And you got to get both members.
I think if one
Well-
member is left standing at the end of the match, that team wins. That's my understanding of it, right?
Old pay-per-view, or at least old WWE tag team battle royal, if one member of the team is eliminated, the whole team is eliminated.
I wonder if they do it that way or if they are allowed to stay in. I'd be interested.
I have no idea. And it also like I really don't fucking know. They could
go
a
either
lot.
way. They could
Yeah.
go either way with that.
Yeah, all right. It's just going to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, traditionally refers to a fight involving many combatants that is fought until one fighter remains standing, usually conducted under either boxing or wrestling rules. In recent times, the term, I don't think it's going to get me to where I want to.
No,
Oh,
probably
professional
not.
wrestling 1.2. Let's go here. No rules. It takes place entirely inside the ring. A wrestler is eliminated when a wrestler scores a pinfall or knocks out his or her opponent, but rarely submissions. Some promotions allow over-the-top rope eliminations or enforce them exclusively.
That's a battle royal to me. Is you got to go over the top rope.
Notably, normal battle royals in the WWE and also in their annual Royal Rumble. Battle royales are often used to determine the top contender for their championship and filling vacant championships.
Yeah, so, it doesn't
So
give us much.
I guess it's, it's whether they choose to define whether it's over the top rope or not. But going into that, I mean, so what happened with FTR is there was a tweet that All Elite Wrestling put out on today at 6:55 p.m. East Coast time that said, upon review of their conduct after the Jungle Boy versus Dax Harwood match, FTR suspended from competition for 1 week, thus out of the hashtag Beach Break Tag Team Battle Royale. FTR replaced with John Silver and Alex Reynolds.
So FTR basically come out and cost
And
Jurassic Express the
Yeah.
match is what
Yeah, that
I'm
makes sense.
guessing. I think judging by AEW's history of battle royals, if you want to call like in the buy-in when we saw it, it's always been over the top rope. So I think that those will be the rules. It's just whether or not it'll be if one person from a team is eliminated, the other one is as well, or if like the other person can stay in. That would be the only like variant to what I think. I do like the idea of this next match though, with the Lumberjack match between Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston.
And who do you think, are they just going to have all their all the dark jobbers come out and be the Lumberjacks?
Well, no, because
Yeah.
you've got you've got.
I mean, obviously the Butcher and the Blade will be out there,
right?
but like you'll have a handful of like people. But I think
hasn't Lance
everybody else?
Do you have like Gun Club and like shit like that?
That's what I'm saying.
Probably.
Like everybody else is in that fucking tag team battle.
Yeah, it's unless you do that and you or you have all of those tag teams come out, act as the Lumberjacks, and then you do the battle royale after that. But you're gonna want some of the intros. You're gonna want some of the entrances. So technically, doesn't make sense.
It's a very interesting way to. I'm really.
You could get a couple. You could get the people that you're not going to do the entrances for. So like looking at it, okay.
I want Luther's entrance right now. That's all. I'm fine as long as I get Luther and his entrance.
Yeah, but Luther is not in the tag team battle royal, so
it's okay. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. Chris Jericho says it.
First of all, who the fuck decided that Jericho gets to decide who gets to do whatever they want? Jericho's great, but he's also a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
So I'll go on record and say, Chris Jericho, I love you, but also fuck you.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Lance Archer probably takes that. They've buried him so much in. But they have done with Kingston as well.
And there was the last opening match of fucking Dynamite with fucking Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston. You know, and the way Butcher and Blade came out and everything. I mean. I think they got to do more of a push with him. I think
they're working towards turning Lance Archer face.
I think so too.
I think that's probably, and this might be the match that sort of solidifies that in our minds. And then we got Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. Dr. Britt Baker. DMD.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it should be a good match.
It'll be decent. I think through some chicanery, probably because of Britt Baker's associate. I always forget her name. Reba or something.
Rebel.
Is it Rebel?
I think. Well, it says Rebel. I
thought it was Reba for some reason, like Reba McIntyre, but I could be wrong there.
I could care less. I'm just in love with Ty Conti.
Yeah, she's cute. She's yeah.
She's a cute Brazilian.
I like it too. But I think this is, as much as I really do like Thunder Rosa, I think this is kind of Britt Baker's to win, just to set her up, because Britt Baker needs to be the women's champion. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Britt Baker has been was out for so long leading up to recently. She needs a trajectory to be on. 100%. And she needs to become a dominant force for AEW's women division.
Absolutely.
100%.
And then lastly, we have, of course, the wedding. Between Penelope Ford and...
How do you think Orange Cassidy fucks this up?
Right,
Nothing bad can happen at a wrestling wedding, though.
I mean...
Nothing's ever happened bad at a wrestling wedding.
Actually,
the only time nothing bad has happened at a wrestling wedding, which I didn't... the only thing that happened was I was not able to attend, was Duncan's wedding.
That's true. That's true.
Very true.
I thought you were gonna say Miss Elizabeth Macho Man, but
no, it was Duncan's wedding.
Yeah. There's definitely a snake in a box at that one.
Yeah.
Not at my wedding, but
had I been there?
Yeah.
I don't know
dude,
what
you
they
should
do
have
with
dressed
this.
as the Undertaker. That would have been awesome.
They'll come out last minute. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Here's your gift, and it's just a fucking cobra. Kelsey'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck are you guys doing?" My mom is here.
I do.
Exactly what it would have been too.
I do expect, of course, some nonsense from Orange Cassidy, probably setting up a Miro Cassidy match at some point in the near future. They need to do something with Miro at this point. It's not been working in AEW. They need to get on the right track with it. I don't think him being with Kip Sabian is going to work. Now, I do, however, think that making good old fucking Chucky T his butler for a while will work. So if they can put
Miro, Yeah, Miro worked for the first little bit.
Yep.
Like, well, with Kip Sabian. But, like, he needs to be on his own.
He does.
And he needs to be fucking crushing. And I'm going to say he needs to be crushing ass in no uncertain terms. Like, he needs to be fucking destroying people and, like, being that quote-unquote Bulgarian brute. And, like, he has it in him. We've seen it. And I think that he can do these comedic things, but he's leaned into it too hard now, and it's pulled away from the fact that he is a major threat. And I think he needs to establish himself as a major threat. And whether that's then turning him and Kip Sabian into a program where they have an amazing match or two together, that could be great. But I think they need to separate it pretty quickly now. They need to cut and run post wedding.
If he's gonna do the comedic stuff, they've got to turn him face.
Yep.
And that's like seemingly not what they want to do. I think the obvious thing is to have a match between him and Cassidy for who gets the rights to Chucky T. Like, and that Chucky T can get out of being his butler or whatever. And then we get the best friends sort of reunion, that type of deal. So something is going to happen in that regard, I would assume. But yeah, you can either go one of two ways. You either go and have him turn face, make him full comedy, or you have him just like you said, be that brutish badass that we know he can be.
Yeah, or you play it out to, I don't know when Trent's going to be cleared to come back, but you play it out and then he's able to play a part in this. Or maybe he's the one who objects to this wedding. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do something where Orange Cassidy objects or fucking Trent objects or something like that.
Sure.
You know, like, you could do that. Not saying it's going to happen, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
knowing
I think that Miro doesn't need Kip Sabian.
No, and honestly,
Correct.
like, I feel like it's holding him back a little bit at this point. Like, the gamer thing is the problem that I have with at the moment with the two of them. Like, it doesn't resonate with me. Maybe it's because, like, I'm just not a gamer. I'm not that type of fan. Okay, like, that's the connection between the two of you. You both like video games. It's stupid. Like, it doesn't work. Like, that's
and I think that's like the weird line that is being crossed, and I think it's a weird line that, I mean, because a lot of wrestling fans are gamers and are gaming fans, and that's why you have up, down, down, and that's why, you know, Omega makes those comments about fucking video games and things like that. There is that whole community, but then there is a large portion of it, such as myself and Owen and even you, Duncan. Like, we're not like huge fucking gamers, you know. It's like
Duncan would be the biggest of the three of us.
I know, and I still got to send you your PS4 back, you know. And it's like I got to do that, and I have a fucking look. I got a fucking Oculus fucking sitting right here, and how often do I do? I haven't used this thing in fucking 3 months.
Well, you legitimately have to schedule in 2 hours off to do this show.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, you should just fucking load it up. Yeah. Do some Star Wars and shit.
The Star Wars one is fucking badass, though.
I bet.
Fucking seeing Darth Vader right next to you. I'm like, my dog hates it. I walk around the fucking but I want them to do a fucking wrestling game. They have boxing games and shit. I want some sort of fucking, I don't know how they would do it, but god damn it, they figured everything else out. Figure fucking out a wrestling game out, because like I can climb things, I can box people, I can fucking like,
oh dude, you could do a steel cage match and shit, like where you're climbing the cage.
And it's
like...
dude, it's the weirdest thing. Like, so in the Star Wars game, when you're fucking like holding on to, and again, this is now totally going against like, oh, I'm not a gamer, but this is like in like the 4 hours I ever played the Oculus that I fucking bought. It's like, when I'm like pulling myself up the ladders and shit like that, like literally it's like you're getting vertigo.
Oh wow.
That's fucking wild. Crazy.
Yeah, I've never played one of those.
I'm gonna, dude, post COVID, I'm bringing this shit down to Florida.
Yeah, we'll fuck with it.
I'm coming down. I got many fucking travel credits on United and Southwest. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna be flying for free for fucking ever.
That's awesome. Yes, well, we do have we got to wrap things up here because it's about that time. We're getting a little late here. But we do have one more question from our Facebook group. Just look us up on Facebook, Ono Wrestling, and find us in our group there. We have a constant discussion about everything going on in wrestling, whether it's threads about what's going on in the pay-per-views or just, general news or whatever it is. But our friend David Perry asks, why do they have good pay-per-views? I'm assuming he's talking about WWE. Why do they have good pay-per-views, but their television show is the shits? And that is a good question, because in general, over the last year, their pay-per-views have been pretty outstanding. There's not
They've
one
gotten so much better.
So much better since since before. Now, my response to this is watch SmackDown. SmackDown has been really quite good lately.
Yeah, watch SmackDown, watch NXT.
Watch NXT. Raw last night, better than it has been in weeks and weeks and weeks. Yeah, Raw's the weakest show now of the three.
Raw's
yeah.
tough.
It's
For
Raw
the flagship, it's just like it's a slog.
And I think part of their problem too with this is that it's predictability. That's the problem with even SmackDown to a degree, but Raw more so, is that you never see a title change anymore on TV.
Yep.
You never see any real big angles like come to a finish. You never see a turn on somebody. You never see...
You see, like we talked about earlier, and you guys have pointed out many podcasts before, it's 12 minutes of the main event, and
100%.
you know someone's going to get fucked up, and you're going to hit the end. You know, it's so cookie cutter in the way that it's done, that it's literally like, here's 1, 2, and 3. And I actually noticed, because I was watching last night for the first time in a long time, that like they seem to try and make hour 3 at the beginning. Like I didn't watch the first hour, watch the second hour, but like the third hour, it's like, oh, that coming up, and like that. And I was just like, I mean, you're talking more about, like, don't talk about it, fucking do it.
Yep.
Right.
Like keep me engaged by doing it, not fucking promoting it.
Like they used to promote through the week, right? Like you used to see ads for like coming up this week on Monday Night Raw. You've got, blah, 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 or the return of Stone Cold Steve.
Like AEW does.
Yeah.
They announce
Well,
cards.
and that's what we talked about a few
beforehand.
weeks ago, is that like AEW does these things where it's like, hey, there's this title match and it's coming up in 2 weeks, and fucking we're building to it and everything.
Yeah, it's called they build. They actually build.
They make you want it because you're building, it's coming. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna tune in fucking 2 weeks before and see what's happening, because this fucking main event is happening in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right.
Speaking of title changes, as we get out of here, our my last little thing here, we know you won. Well, that wasn't even the biggest title change of the week, because no longer is our boy Johnny Hungy our BTE champion. We've got Sammy Guevara taking the title, and
he's not the best boy.
It broke my heart.
It was terrible.
Oh, it broke my heart. The other great thing about BTE, if you haven't seen it, is good old fucking, god damn it,
John Silver.
No, Doc Gallows. I was about to call him by his old name.
Fuck the buck.
He's Festus with a PH. And,
oh my god, I legitimately lolled.
Yeah, go and watch it. It's a good BTE. Boys, thank you so much for joining me on another episode of ONW. Episode 102, by the way.
Oh, shit.
We will see you next week. Hopefully same time, same place, about 9 p.m. on Tuesday night over at twitch.tv/ONRS Live. If you like what you hear and you want to donate a couple of bucks, we'd really implore you to do so over at patreon.com/ONRS. And, you find us on Facebook. You find us on a multitude of, social media platforms, and pretty much anywhere you find your podcast. It should be up there now. We are definitely on Spotify. We are definitely on Apple Podcasts. We are also on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel at, Ono Wrestling. Just go ahead and search for that. And I want to thank everybody that has been tuning in and listening to us, because we had in January the highest, downloads of Ono Wrestling's, history. So with that, boys, I'd say that we say that thing that we say when we get out of here.